What do you guys think are the most challenging scenes?
We shot in a swamp and there were bugs, reptiles.
For example, alligators kind of strolling on to the set.
Being shot with the IMAX cameras, you know, 65mm film.
That film starts, you will be whisked away into the world of sinners.
Yes, it's a big picture, but also the intimacy that IMAX can create for you.
Buy the ticket on IMAX!
Hilil, ada yang terang tapi bukan lampu. Ada yang merah tapi bukan api. Itu loh, tombol subscribe. Buruan ya, subscribe YouTube channel Cinema21 sekarang juga.
Hi everyone, my name is Nandra. I represent Cinema21, the largest cinema chain in Indonesia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey Nandra.
Hello.
Yes.
Me as well, thank you.
Okay, first of all, congratulations for the movie. I have watched it yesterday and I'm a big fan of the movie.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Nice, good. Glad you enjoyed it.
Okay, so seeing the movie is full of surprises and very intense. What was your first reaction when you first read the script? Do you have any what moments when you first reading it?
Oh my gosh, quite a few, and I had maybe even more of them when we were filming this movie. I was so struck by its originality, the fact that it takes everything from horror and vampires and this music.
Somebody take me in your eyes.
But it also can pierce the veil between life and death.
And the history of this time, it's so historical, it's so important, the messaging is so strong, and these characters are so nuanced within all of this. Somehow it felt grounded and cohesive, and like it made sense. And I remember even seeing the movie for the first time, I felt like the way that I did when I read the script for the first time, just so in awe of all of it, of every part of this story. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
The whole reading session was a what moment for me. I hadn't read anything like it, honestly. And that's not just like saying that, because I think sometimes we get carried away with just saying things. I genuinely read it and was blown away by the way in which relationships were being depicted, the depth of characters, the interwoven storytelling, the use of music and dance. And
Listen here. This ain't no house party.
That it had all the elements of things that I really love, of things. I grew up in the theater, so that theatrical element for me was very present. It made for a thrilling reading experience, for sure.
I felt like it was a story about community. I love the fact that he used a device to talk about what happens to this particular community.
We got us a problem now. What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party.
So from the beginning, I felt like it was a big story, a large story, painted on a big canvas. That's what attracted me, among a few other things.
I didn't really know how to put it into words. It was really special. It was really unique, and it had so much heart that I was really excited to see so much heart intertwined so seamlessly in a horror, as many would say, in a story that is about vampires.
Yeah, so from the time I got the script, it was a small part that I kind of read. I didn't know much, but once I got the full script, I was like, wow, I was just in awe, man. I think Ryan is a genius. I love film, so I was wondering, like, how is this gonna come to life, man? And then to get on set and to see how everything played out, it's fantastic.
For me, I read it and I said, wow, this is either going to be one of the greatest projects I've ever been a part of, or it's going to be, what was he trying to do there? And I like that feeling of, as to take Delroy's words from previous interviews, he took a very, very big swing. This is a home run swing kind of story.
Big swing.
And I think he pulled it off. So kudos to Ryan Coogler.
My initial read was like under lock and key, like password protected. Time limit.
Yeah.
And then I was scheduled to chat with Ryan like 3 hours after receiving the script. So I didn't have long. And it's just not enough time to, I think, fully wrap your head around everything that's going on in this story. So yeah, I had to completely wing it the first time. But there was enough. There was more than enough that leapt off the page to me, and more than enough that I wanted to find out more about from Ryan, but I don't think I fully wrapped my head around the story until like yesterday.
We were on set and we had days where we were like, what are we doing?
Yeah, what
are we doing? Everybody was just like, we think this is gonna work. We think. Yeah.
I'm going to see tonight. Yeah.
Okay, so Michael, you work with Ryan on creating Black Panther, right? What makes this collaboration special, especially facing technical challenges like the IMAX shoot?
There's a chemistry there that we, that kind of was always there since day one. First time I met him, kind of felt like I was talking to a best friend or a brother, you know what I'm saying, that from Cali that I never met before. And we had similar tastes in a lot of things. And yeah, man, I think there's a level of trust that we built over the years, and a shorthand of just situational awareness when we're on set, after, knowing what he needs, knowing what he's looking for, what does the scene need? Where do I need to be? How can I help? How can I be of service? I think anticipating his needs and where is he going really allowed me to kind of help, our dynamic flourish in certain areas. And I know he has his own perspective on that too.
Okay, so filming a horror movie, as you guys said, can be very intense. What do you guys think are the most challenging scenes to shoot?
One of the most challenging aspects for me is how to present this story and not have audiences see it as a horror film, because it's, in my estimation, actually not a horror film. I would love it if audiences see the larger narrative and not just the horror aspect.
I don't know, I might be just speaking for myself here, but it felt like whenever we were on, it was a very encouraging, welcoming set anyway. Yeah. But everything that happened while we were on felt tight, and it felt drilled, it felt welcome.
I am your way out. Don't cry. It's all better now.
And I think from a practical perspective, one of the things that all of us can attest to, one of the more difficult elements of making this film were the elements, because we shot in a swamp in the summer and it was hot, and there were bugs, and there were reptiles, and there was a lot of challenges. There was bad weather. So there was a lot of delays that required us to come together as a community to lean on one another to actually get the film made.
And we did. I mean, there was no discussion of that, but it happened organically.
It was innate. Everybody was here to play on the same team.
Yep.
Same. I really struggled with the environment, the heat, the bugs, but I felt like we had a really beautiful cast led by Michael and Ryan, who are genuinely kind and supportive. And I felt like through our relationship with each other was what made it so rewarding in the end.
This whole process was, as rewarding as it was definitely a big challenge for me. I think there was a lot of days where we had like night shoots, and there were days where it was super hot. We was outside in suits in 100-degree weather. So it was all the elements, but it was rewarding for sure. Yeah, I would say, we dealt with a lot of outside factors that made this one a bit more challenging. I mean, listen, the blood is, it's pretty uncomfortable. It's sticky, it's hot, you got bugs out there, you know what I'm saying? Clothes sticking to you, but I ain't complaining, I'm just saying it's a little.
The stuff that was probably happening off camera, for example, alligators kind of strolling on to the set.
Casually. I wasn't there that day, but I sure heard a lot about it, and there were enough videos to go around. That is the most terrifying. That's not every day you find that happening on set, but there was one moment, it was during a night shoot. We were in the middle of a big sort of open land. There were snake wranglers. Sure enough, one came back with a snake. They found one not too far from the cast. Thank God that they were there and they exist, and they were able to get it. And apparently it was a friendly snake, so there was that. But they were like, everyone was taking photos with it.
That comes with its own unique set of challenges, I think. For a Brit.
Unique is a good word.
For a Brit, I'm
it's
not
like
accustomed
the foxes.
to dealing with it.
You didn't feel like the alligators like the foxes? That wasn't giving that vibe?
Completely different breeds, man. I think to have an alligator wrangler on set who just casually strolling around looking for alligators, I just thought, wow, this is a long way from home.
That's always the part of the job that keeps you on your toes. You never know when there's going to be an alligator or a snake around.
Okay, so even in Indonesia, a lot of videos of you and MBJ are viral on TikTok. Can you tell me what's the best moment that you have working with him?
Oh my goodness. I so admire Michael's ability to come to work every day, and on a movie like this where it's very intense and heavy, and like I mentioned, there's a lot of night shoots, and we're in the heat of middle of summer in New Orleans, and there's bugs and there's alligators and snakes and things and all this chaos happening around us, and he has such a wonderful ability of setting the tone and making light of things when needed, and he loves to crack a good joke and get everybody laughing, and that is so needed. I'm a big fan of that, but he's wonderful and so talented in this movie. I'm very excited for people to see what he pulled off in this.
Okay, so as you can see in my background, Sinners will be shown in IMAX in Indonesia. Can you tell what's the biggest reasons Indonesian fans should watch it in IMAX?
I mean, Ryan always envisioned this to be, large format, you know what I'm saying? Shot with the IMAX cameras, 65 millimeter film, the sound design, the soundtrack, the music, I think it's best shot, it's best experience in the cinema. In IMAX. So I encourage everybody to come out, get your ticket, get your popcorn, and get ready to, talk to the screen, yell at the characters, and go for a ride, get excited with the music, be scared, jump out of your seat.
And IMAX is made particularly to mimic the human eye and the human experience.
Right.
And with that, it was shot with the intention of being displayed as large as possible. You're talking about a real cinephile with the director. He is a true film buff. And in that, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, whether you know it or not, at the elements that he brings technically to the artistry.
Yes, it's a big picture, but also the intimacy that actually I think IMAX can create for you. I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely, likewise. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Excited, yeah. I
truly believe it's the only way to see this movie. You will get it in its entirety. You will be taken along for the ride from the second that film starts. You will be whisked away into the world of Sinners and be given the cinematic experience that you will never ever forget. So I highly, highly recommend seeing it in IMAX. It is so incredible, and I personally can't wait to see it in IMAX again.
So go see
thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Buy the ticket on IMAX. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We're having a good time over here. I'm with my friends I haven't seen in a long time.
God bless you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Asik kan videonya? Jangan lupa like, subscribe, dan komen ya. Sampai bertemu di video selanjutnya.